Shruti is mother only. Scriptures are considered to be the mother herself. Let me welcome all of you to the study of this 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Please remember, in Chinmaya Mission, what we do is we study. This organization is a worldwide organization that is engaged in studying. Study means whatever is there written in Shruti, we take time and we go into the words and we see what those words mean and what implications they have for our spiritual journey. And we do that within the context of a certain sampradaya, within the context of a certain tradition. Right? Bhagwan Ved Vyas gave, Bhagwan Shri Krishna gave this Bhagavad Gita. Ved Vyas ji wrote it down. Bhagwan Shiva took incarnation later on as Shankaracharya, came and he gave the meanings of all of the words of Bhagavad Gita. What exactly these words mean and how they apply to our life and our spiritual journey. So life is only a journey towards God. How these words are going to guide us. What contribution are they going to make in our life on our spiritual journey to Bhagwan? This is what it is all about, and that we study it. We just, of course we chant it also. We sing it, we chant it, we do all those types of things. That is very good. That is how we get familiar with the words and the ideas there. But then we have to do a deep study. Bhagwan Shankaracharya says in his Bhaja Govindam at one place, Bhagavad Gita kinchida dhita Ganga jala lava kanika pita Sakrirapi murari samarcha tasya yamena charcha. The person who studies this Bhagavad Gita little bit only, see these words, who studies this Bhagavad Gita little bit only, that person will not have any charcha with Yamaraj. Because sooner or later all of us will have to have some charcha with Yamaraj. Charcha means some discussion. And that is a one-way discussion actually. Well, sometimes people resist. What Yamaraj says, come on. Yamaraj means Lord of Death. He says, come on. And we say, no. And Yamaraj says, yes. And you say, no. There's a two-word discussion. So he says the person who studies little bit of this Bhagavad Gita, little, Bhagavad Gita kinchida dhita. In the Bhagavad Gita itself, in the second chapter, Bhagavan says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. There's a little bit of this Gita, a little bit of this dharma which is given in this Gita, we can save us from the great fear of Yamaraj. Mahataha bhaya. Mahataha bhaya means the greatest fear which we have. Which is the greatest fear we have? Yamaraj, na? See, people are afraid to lose money, people are afraid to lose their house, lose their car, lose, their children, lose their wife, lose their husband, sometimes. People are afraid to lose, these kind of things. But to lose their life, greatest fear, Mahataha bhaya. So, a little bit of the Gita saves us from that great fear of Yamaraj. That is the idea. So, we have joined and we are studying the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Last night when we left it at verse number 13. We'll chant. Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharayamyaham ojasa Pushnami chaushadhi sarvaha Somo bhutva rasatmakaha सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः
सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः
हरिव्यापक सर्वत्र समाना
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
प्रेम ते प्रगट होई मैं जाना
श्री राम जय राम
हरिव्यापक सर्वत्र समाना प्रेम ते प्रगट होई मैं जाना प्रेम ते प्रगट होई मैं जाना जय जय राम तुलसीदास जी right Baba may not remember but he taught me this verse really years ago also. That time both are very young. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. Just see the words of Tulsidas. Hari, God, is all pervasive. God pervades. Hari Vyapak. Sarvatra Samana. All things everywhere equally. Samana means equally. It means that God is present here less and here more, or there less and there more. No. God is present everywhere equally. And how is He revealed? In the next line, He says, Prem te pragata hohi me jana. I know that He is revealed. He becomes manifest. Means I come to know Him by love. One who develops love in his heart, he comes to know the presence of God everywhere. It's God who is already present. It's not that He is not present, already present. But love is lacking. So these few verses which have been given here is also not only a summary of the 10th chapter as I told last night, but it's also a summary of Bhakti Yoga in Gita. Because Bhakti Yoga is also one of the themes of Gita. The second group of 6 chapters speak about Bhakti Yoga. So these verses are meant to develop Bhakti in all of us. And through that Bhakti, Bhagwan will be revealed. So here, what a wonderful achievement, a wonderful presentation of the Lord. That is Bhakti. These verses are presented with both Bhakti and Gyan mixed. Learning to see Bhagwan in all things around us. And in doing so, we develop love for all the things around us. See, if somebody brings food for you every day, cooks nice food and brings, so you will love that person or not? Okay, let me change that question. If somebody cooks and brings nice food for you every day, you're supposed to love that person or not? Huh? You're supposed to love that person, isn't it? Of course, the human heart is capable of anything, The human being, because he's so ungrateful being, he may not even love that person who brings him food, because after some time, the human being also becomes, we never miss the water until the well runs dry. So that person only has to refrain from bringing food for you for one day. Then you'll see how important that person is. Huh? So, in the very same way as the Lord is giving us everything we need for our survival, every moment, every day, the Lord is giving us all we need for our survival. On that basis alone, we should have so much of gratitude, so much of love for Bhagwan. The 2 weeks in Pitri Paksh, which are kept there, are 2 weeks The 2 weeks of Pitripaksh are kept by the rishis for us to spend. We're supposed to spend 2 weeks developing gratitude. What is the main idea in Pitripaksh? Gratitude. That is called as, the Sanskrit words always connote something deeper than what the English. Actually, when I say these English words, really it doesn't. When I say gratitude, it doesn't touch my heart as if I say in Sanskrit, pratignya. Pratignya means a deep sense of obligation and love and all this together. A deep sense of owing to Bhagwan. Is I owe Bhagwan something. So we are supposed to develop great amount of gratitude in those 2 weeks. The whole 2 weeks set aside for this thing only, for the Lord. And that is because the Lord is present in all things and sustains us every moment of our life. So here, these verses, this is the theme. So the verse which you see, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayamyaham Ojasa Ushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. Bhagwan says, I have entered into the earth. Somebody was asking how I brought in moon. I brought in moon because of Soma there last night. I'll show you now. The Lord says, I have entered the earth, and from the earth I have now sustained all the plants, and I give sap to all the plants, rasa to all the plants, the sap. But it is the sap which is called here Soma, but Soma is also moon. But the moon draws it, as though the moon draws the sap from the earth into the plant because of the magnetic pull of the moon. This has to be studied somewhere. In science it's called as osmotic pressure, but that has to be studied a little bit. In that osmotic pressure, the moon factor is not, or the moon is not factored in. The rishis are giving a hint, and they study this thing. You see? I mean, the tradition is giving a hint. And he says, in this way I sustain all aushadhihi, all the plants, by becoming the. Now see, who is doing it? Bhagwan has entered the earth, and he has gone into the plants, and he is also in the previous verse he told, he is the power in the moon. So he is pulling himself through the plants from the earth. He is himself pulling himself. The oneness of Bhagwan in the whole universe. The only thing existing in the universe is God. That is God. That is being also indicated in the verses. So he's gone in the earth, and he's in the moon, and he's pulling himself through the plants, and we are cutting the plants and eating. So what are we eating? God only. And who is eating God? God is eating God. That is why in the 4th chapter is Brahmarpanam Brahmavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam. Brahman is everything. That is the idea. In one of the chapters also, in the 7th chapter perhaps, he tells Vasudeva Sarvamiti. The Lord is everything. God is everything in the universe. So if I am eating the plants, then God is eating plants. But what happens is the people in the universe, the people who live here, we put specific names and specific capabilities and attach certain labels to all the things in the world, right? We attach labels to all the things in the world. And we get stuck with those labels. It's amazing what the power of labels are. One man had some psychological problem, and he went to a psychiatrist. And after 2 years of treatment, the psychiatrist said, "Okay, sir, I have now come to the firm conclusion that you are cured. Now you need not come to me anymore." So the man said, "Cured? You did not cure me? At least when I came here, I was Abraham Lincoln. Now I am nothing." When he came in that office, he was thinking he is Abraham Lincoln. Now I am nothing. So for him, the label of Abraham Lincoln is more important. No label, I am nothing. We ourselves like labels. We ourselves like to label ourselves. I am this, I am that, I am the other thing. We love these type of labels and all. So we attach labels to everything in the world, and in attaching those labels and getting attached to the labels, we forget Bhagwan. We forget the Lord who is in all things. So when I see the food, for instance, now the Lord is talking about food here, right? And the plants. And when I see the food, I say, wow. Sahina? Sahina, I haven't had this thing in such a long time. In that Sahina, when I see it, and in the memory of the taste, and in the desire to enjoy it, and all of those things, that time, I forget that it is Bhagwan in that food, and is Bhagwan going to eat? Bhagwan. We don't think like that. We get so wrapped up in the taste and the memory. And not only that, the mouth starts watering also. Then you say, "Give me fast. Why are you delaying?" And some people like to do that. No. Take it. And then they pull it away. So, Gama Vishacha Bhutani, I have entered the earth. Gama Vishya, having entered the earth, and all beings, not only the earth, and all beings. Dharayami Ojasa, I sustain all beings and all things with my own power. Pushnami Chaushadhi Sarvaha, and I nourish all the plants, having become Somaha. The sap in all plants, but the sap come from the earth only, and in all the plants, and it is the power of the moon that pulls the sap up like that. Then not only am I the human being, not only am I the food, but in the next verse is that, see, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva,
Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva,
Praninam Deham Ashritaha,
Praninam Deham Ashritaha,
Pranapana Samayuktaha,
Pranapana Samayuktaha,
Pachamyannam Chaturvidham,
Pachamyannam Chaturvidham,
Pachamyannam Chaturvidham,
Pachamyannam Chaturvidham.
Aham Vaishvanaraha Bhutva, having become Vaishvanara, Praninam Deham Ashritaha, and entering the bodies of all beings, of all living beings, having become Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara is the digestive fire in the stomach. Digestive fire in the stomach. Now, those of you who have studied, the Lord has become the digestive fire, it means the enzymes, which is described as a digestive fire. Pranapana Samayuktaha, and in conjunction with prana and anapana, means in conjunction with all the other physiological functions in the body. Actually you could study medicine from this also. Those people who study that digestion and all such things should study these verses. The digestive force in the intestines, in the alimentary canal, the digestive force cannot function, first of all, if there is no heat. It has to be warm. Now science will tell you this also. You study this, you will see. It has to be warm. Therefore, Vaishwanara is described as a fire. First thing. How the rishis knew? They had a thermometer and they sent it down inside your stomach. There must be warmth. Then the digestion takes place properly. Therefore, in Ayurveda, we are not supposed to be consuming anything cold. Anything cold is forbidden in Ayurveda. So warmth is conducive to digestion. Second thing, prana apana samayuktaha. Digestion cannot happen all by itself unless all the other physiological functions are going on properly. Breathing, circulation, the liver functioning properly. See, all of the other organs have to be functioning properly. Then only digestion is possible also. So therefore it says prana apana samayuktaha. Along with prana and apana means along with all the other physiological functions. Pancha pranas. Then only the digestion is proper. And he says, Pachami annam chaturvidam. I digest the 4 types of food in the stomach. Which 4 types of food? 4 types of food described as foods which we chew. 1. Food which we swallow. 2. Food which we lick. And then food which we suck, like mango and orange. You don't go on licking mango, isn't it? You lick ice cream, right? We lick ice cream, we suck mango, suck sugar cane. We say that in Trinidad, no? We suck sugar cane. Then those which you just swallow, like drink, that you don't lick. You lick water. You don't lick water. Dogs lick water, isn't it? Which we just swallow like that. And then others which we chew. No, don't get them mixed up. Food which you are supposed to chew properly. So these are the 4 types of food. Now see, what are the implications? Bhagavan says, I am there in the stomach, digesting all the foods that come. I am the fire in the stomach that digests the food that comes. And you know what Bhagavan Shankaracharya has written regarding this verse? He says, if the person sees that it is the Lord who is in the stomach, if the person sees that it is the Lord who is the food itself, and if the person sees that it is the Lord who is consuming the food and he is digesting the food, and he is the one who is involved in all of this, he said food could never ever bring disease to a person. Shankaracharya. He will never be affected by the defect of food. But what happened? We say, I am enjoying. Oh, that curry corn which you gave me yesterday, that was. And even if I don't want to say, they call to say, how was the curry corn? So they want to know, and I say also, it was so good. When are you going to make it again for me? That anytime, anywhere in there, Bhagwan comes? No Bhagwan. We are so consumed by enjoyment of this world. That is the idea. But Bhagwan said, Shankaracharya said, if we can even briefly remember, I'll tell you what he says. There's a fine print. Bhokta Vaishwanara Agnihi. That Vaishwanara is the fire, who is the one who is consuming the food inside. Bhojyam annam somaha. And that which is consumed inside is the food, which is soma, which the Lord himself just said that he is. Tad etat ubhayam agnishomau sarvamiti pashyataha. If the person sees that all of this is the Lord himself, the last line there says, Anna dosha lepo na bhavati. Anna dosha lepo means the defects that brought about in this body by food. What? Defects brought about into the body by food? Please, I'm seeing somebody, doctors here, Please, you have to tell your patients, all diseases are caused by food. All diseases are caused by food. People say, Swamiji, how can you say that? So many terrible things like polio and yellow fever and brown fever and smallpox and big pox and all different types of things. They are caused by food also. Look here. There are so many people in the world who never get these diseases, isn't it? When smallpox passes, everybody got? When the cold passes, the common cold or the flu or the virus, everybody gets? No. It is an imbalance in the consumption of food or improper consumption of food and digestion and all of these things of the food which makes the body susceptible to whatever is passing. So anything passes, this fellow catches. He's like he's wearing a baseball gloves. Anything passes, he catches. And there are people, you will see. Look here. You're sitting in a taxi, right? And you're on the right side in the back seat, and there's somebody on the left side, and the person in the middle has a cold. And you get a cold, and you come home and tell everybody, the man in the middle, he gave me a cold. Right? The man in the middle, he gave me a cold. But the fellow who was sitting right on the other side never got a cold. How? Both of you sat together with the cold holder. How the other fellow didn't get a cold? And it's because of improper consumption of food, we make our bodies susceptible to whatever is passing. The immune system is not developed properly and all of this. So, the person who is able to recognize and hold very firmly in his mind that the food, the digester of the food, the one who is eating the food, everything, it is all Bhagwan. He says, defect of food will never ever get to him. Then in the next verse also, he again demonstrates his all-pervasiveness. So he is demonstrating his all-pervasiveness now. Hari Vyapak. Lord is there in everything. But slowly he is trying to show that it is the Lord who is existing in all things. Because when I say our general statement, the Lord is there in everything. The Lord is pervading everything. The Lord is everything. When we say that those general statements, we say, okay then. So what he's doing, he's taking one thing by one thing and making us go down and study it. That he's there in the food, he's there in the digestive juices in the stomach. He is those things actually. You know how many implications are there? Think now. Bhagwan is saying, I am there in your stomach, digesting the food, which is of 4 types. Right? Who is there? Lord Krishna himself. Aham pachami annam. I digest the food, he says. And then some people come and tell me, Swamiji, I am fasting on Thursdays. So what do you do on the other days? I'm slowing. I am fasting on one day and slowing on the other day. You know what is slowing? Slowing means you go on eating all the other things. Go on eating all the other things which slows down the mind. Fasting really speeds up the mind. We go and eat all the other things which slows down the mind. Slow down the mind means the mind is slow to think. 2 plus 2, just now. Mind becomes slow, dull with the other things that we eat. And there's no joke about that. Whatever we eat, that is what we become. We become what we eat. So in the animal world, the animal kingdom is known for predominantly tamasic guna. The animal kingdom is known for its tamasic guna. So if I consume more of the tamasic guna, then what I become? Tamasic. That's the tamasic means the mind slows down. So on Thursdays I fast. On the other days I slow. Yeah. But when you slow, yes, people make all sorts of things. But few days only, somebody was telling me, Sanjay, I cannot come and touch your feet. I cannot come and touch your feet. I said, Adeva, why? He said, I ate. I don't want to tell you what he ate. He told me, but he ate. I said, hey, bhai, look here. When you ate the thing, it fell on the head of Bhagwan inside. It fell on the head of the Lord. And you're saying, you can't touch my feet, or you can't go in the temple, you can't do puja, you can't do this, you can't do the other thing. And you don't throw the thing right on the Lord's head. Huh? But people, sometimes we say a piecemeal effort is still good, I fast one day. I say what to do. Yeah, okay. What to do. That also is good. You see, we still have to say, encourage the person, at least you fast one day. Still encourage the person a little bit. But there are so many contradictions in middle positions. I keep telling that in Sanatana Dharma. Their middle positions are always rigged with contradictions. Huh? You will find yourself in an eternal loop when you hold middle position. What is the meaning of middle position? Please see this in Shastras. Middle positions like this. Some people are my people and some people are not my people. That is a middle position. Anyway, the truth is, either everybody is yours or nobody is yours. That is not a middle position. That is the ultimate position. Either everybody in this world is yours or nobody is yours. In the very same way, this middle position about fasting one day, that is contradiction, rigged with contradictions. Either you eat meat every day or you are a vegetarian every day. The middle position, you're proud that you're fasting on Thursday, but the next day you landed right on Bhagwan's head. Because the Lord is saying very clearly, Aham pachami annam. Aham annam pachami. I digest the food in your stomach. Not only that. Not only we throw the thing on the Lord's head. We, if you have your office or your room or your kitchen, or you like the thing cluttered or you like space to walk around. You like some space now. You don't like your room cluttered or your office cluttered and you can't walk inside the office. But what we do? We eat up to our throat like this. Now poor Bhagwan is in there trying to, and no room. Second thing is, we also want to give the Lord a little rest now. If you have so much devotion for the Lord, you want to give him a little rest. That is why in the Vedic tradition, you're supposed to eat only 2 times per day. So you give Bhagwan a little rest. But in the Vedic tradition, we eat 2 times a day. In the Western tradition, we eat 22 times a day. No, that's not joke. In the West, people go on eating non-stop. And not one single person could go in the airport and not go and buy something to drink or eat. You just eat home, You just ate in the house and you came to the airport. And when you come there now, you have to go and buy something. In Indian trains, you should see that. Kya baat hai? People go and they... In the Indian trains, people pass and they sell everything, right? You want chai, you want cold drinks, you want pav bhaji, you want anything. They'll sell on the train. So all these families who are traveling on the train, they usually the well-to-do families, they travel on this train. So they buy pav bhaji, they buy cold drink, they buy chai, coffee, whatever they buy, and they mumfuli, this, that, and go on eating. Mumfuli means peanuts, and they go on eating. And after all that, now they take out their food which they brought. Then you ask, what happened? Why did you buy all of these things? You brought your food? Why did you have to buy all of these things? They say, no. We have to support the people who sell in. We have to patronage them also because they have to make a living. So we suffocate the Lord. We stifle the Lord with so much of food. We go on eating all day. Because we do all of this in forgetfulness of Bhagwan, food brings all the defects to our body, all the diseases. And nowadays they're giving it nice names of what they call lifestyle diseases. Lifestyle diseases, all connected to food, annam. So please pay attention to this thing. A lot of things Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, all the defects of food will go away. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha.
Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha.
Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha.
Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha.
Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyaha.
Vedascha sarvairahameva vedyaha.
Vedanta krit veda videva chaham.
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 Not only have I entered all the earth and all the plants and the moon and all things, but sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. I am there seated in the hearts of all beings. I am seated in the hearts of all beings. Now, Bhagwan's words are there, stated very clearly. What exactly is the heart of all beings? Bhagavad Pada Adi Shankaracharya says the heart of all beings is Buddhi. Buddha in the intellect. He is there in the intellect of all beings. But because the Lord's words are given there, so many different sampradayas will give different meanings for that. What is the heart of all beings? You know, in English language also, if you study, if you think, you will see that we say at the very root of the thing. At the very root of the thing. There's something, some phrase we use like that in English, na? At the root of the thing. So that will be the heart. At the very core of the human being. Those type of words we use. So that will be heart. So Bhagavan said, he is at the very core of everything. Sarvasya. Sarvasya means of everything. Sarva. Sarva means every single. He's at the core of the atom, at the core of the electron, at the core of the neutron, at the core of the proton, at the core of every single thing, at the core of space, at the very root of all things. He is there. It means he is the one who is at the root of every single thing you can point out. That means what? He is everything. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha. I'm there, lodged, as it were. And the next line is a very famous line, most wonderful line. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam. From me springs smriti and gyan. From the Lord springs, because of him, because of his presence, we all of us have smriti, memory and knowledge. And the next word also, because of him we have forgetfulness also and ignorance. The removal of knowledge, apohanam. So Lord has blessed us with memory and knowledge, and he has blessed us with forgetfulness of it also. So forgetfulness is a blessing, you know. How? Forgetfulness is a blessing? Just forget I said that. You know, if you just give it a little bit of thought, you will see how wonderful it is that Lord has blessed you with forgetfulness. Then I was telling this at one place. You know, you're so blessed that Lord has blessed you with forgetfulness. One man said, Swamiji, well, he blessed me extremely, profusely. Means because he remembers nothing. And Gyan or knowledge, intelligence. He has blessed us with that also. Blessed us with memory and blessed us with forgetfulness. All of these things. See, just think. Suppose you used to remember everything that happened in your life, transpired in your life. Suppose you never forgot a thing. You know what a terrible state it is? You would have remembered what you ate for breakfast since you were born. Every single day. You would have remembered how many times you chewed the food. You would have remembered how hot the Milo was. You would have remembered how the pepper was burning. You would have remembered how many times you ate throughout your whole life, not only breakfast, every meal. Who was sitting at the dinner table? Who cooked the food? Who served it? But you want to remember all this? You would have remembered every single word the teacher ever said in class. Huh? You want to remember all that? You would remember every single word you ever read in every book. You would remember every scene in every movie, every color of the clothes of the people in the movie, every detail. You would remember every motor car number that you've ever seen, license plate number. You would remember every newspaper you ever read and all the trash contained therein. You want to remember all these things? You remember every time you hit your foot, your big toe, and the pain, you would have remembered it. You would remember every time you take a hammer and hit your finger. I was knocking a nail like this, and he missed the nail and hit his thumbnail. And in the confusion, oh God, me ponga fing. All those people listening abroad, you just now you did not understand one word of that. Because that's a pure Trini phrase. Huh? So Bhagwan has blessed us with forgetfulness. Huh? Please see that. You will remember every lifetime. All the lives you lived. And which life you were a donkey? Which life you were a monkey? And when you were a donkey, who beat you? And how many blows you got? How many crazy things you would have remembered. So say, Prabhu, thank you for blessing me with forgetfulness. In fact, that is how you sleep peacefully at night. Only because you could forget what happened all during the day. So the Lord has also blessed us with memory. So we can selectively remember what we want. What a blessing. I choose to remember this and I'll forget those things. I'll remember this verse from Gita. Remember this verse from Gita? That is more beneficial. I could selectively choose that, isn't it? So He's blessed me with memory and intelligence, Gyan. One little boy is asking his father, Dad, where did I get my intelligence from? That boy said, Son, you may have gotten it from your mother because I still have mine. But we don't get our intelligence from mother and father here and there. We get our intelligence from the Lord Himself. He's blessed us with intelligence, knowledge, jnana. So, and many people know how to use this intelligence, jnana and all very well, Some people use it for beneficial things, and some people use it for gyan. In Trinidad language, you say, that fellow has too much gyan. That type of gyan means, that is the same I was telling you yesterday. He's a wise man, and he's a wise guy. He's a wise guy. They're opposite meaning. So in the very same way, gyan in Sanskrit and gyan in Trini, because that's a Trinidadian word also, no? Gyan in Sanskrit and gyan in Trini, they're opposite. Gyan in Trini means he has too much of kapat. Tricks. Kapat is tricks only. Fraud. You have too much of gyan. Trini gyan. That is anywhere in the world you go, instead of calling a Trinidadian, they call it a tricky dadian. Because you have too much gyan, yes. One more asking the little boy. Little boy went to his friend's house for a birthday party, or a little children party. So the mother warned him, hey, when you go there, make sure you do not ask Mrs. Gibbons for a second piece of cake, because you have a bad habit. Because she doesn't want her son to appear to be greedy, and when he asked Mrs. Gibbons for a second piece of cake. So as soon as he came home, she asked, I hope you did not ask Mrs. Gibbons for a second piece of cake. He said, no, I did not ask. In fact, I told her, Mrs. Gibbons, can you please give me the recipe of this cake? It is so good. And just by saying that, she gave me 2 more pieces on her own. That is called gyan. You see what I'm talking about? So Bhagavan has blessed us with this intelligence, which we can use positively for evolution, or we can use negatively for our own demise and our own bondage. Demise means bondage. More and more we become bound in the world. And many times when it is used for the latter, we usually don't recognize or realize that we have done that. Because Maya is so insidious. We don't realize that we have used the gyan for something. I tell you, see, for instance, look here. A person will come and tell me, Swami, in my job, I have the best job in the world. I have nothing to do. And he thinks that that is a plus point. Are bhaiya, you are taking from the universe. You have just found yourself in deeper hole than when you started the job. You are taking from the universe without giving. One day you will have to give back everything. Why are you thinking that is a plus point? In the very same way, you go. Let me give you a simple example. Look here. Suppose you suspect that the shopkeeper is cheating you every time you go there. Right? You suspect that the shopkeeper is cheating you. And then one day you come home and you weigh the sugar, and instead of sugar having 1 kilo, it has less than 1 kilo. So he's cheating you. So you weigh a few more things, and you come to conclude, really, he's cheating you. So then, one day you go and you pay for something with $20, and the thing costs $5. So he's supposed to give you back $15 change, right? So he gives you back $95 change. He gives back $95 change because he made a mistake thinking that you gave him a $100 bill, when in fact you only gave him a $20 bill. He thinks that you gave him a $100 bill and he gives you $95 in change. And that time you come home and you say, aha, yes. In Trinidad language, I catch him. Please remember, you didn't catch anybody. You only caught yourself. The proper course of conduct in that situation is not to take the money and go home. The proper course of conduct is to give the man the money right back. It doesn't matter how many times he has cheated you. If he has cheated you and you have discovered that he has cheated you, the proper course of conduct is to approach him and tell him and show him, not to cheat him back. And then say, I catch him. Then you say, no, Swamiji, but I didn't cheat him back. He cheated himself. The moment you came to find out that he has given you more money than you were supposed to get, and you didn't return it, you cheated him back. You're supposed to return it. So, intelligence is knowledge which the Lord gives us. That knowledge can be used, intelligence can be used to dig ourselves deeper into the grave or to pull ourselves out. And don't use this knowledge for this type of thing. Many people, I caught everybody, take all the money and are banking it in some such place and nobody caught me. I'm fine. I was not caught. I take the kickback and put it in London Bank and I was not caught. I was acquitted. I was acquitted by the court. It means I was not caught. There are two types of courts in the world, One is called our regular court of justice. And there is Bhagwan's court. Bhagwan's court is called as law of karma. कर्म प्रधान विश्व करी राखा जो जस करई सो तस फल चाखा Whatever we take today unfairly, tomorrow we'll have to give back. But inflation is going on. Inflation is going on. So today if you take 2, tomorrow you'll have to give back 22. Because the inflation rate is real high. So, jo jas karai, so tas phalu chakha. Whatever we sow, that only will reap. And don't think that you have gotten away from our civil court or criminal court here. Don't think that you have gotten away. That is such a shallow and poor understanding of how the universe is structured. If anybody thinks that I'm scot-free, what is that? Scot-free they call it? Scot-free, I got away. There is no such thing in the universe, because all man will have to pay his dues. Everybody will have to pay his dues. So use that intelligence. So Bhagavan has blessed us with intelligence. Matta smritihi jnana. Jnana. From me has come these two most wonderful things. Memory and knowledge. And use them. People say, Swamiji, My memory, Bhagavan has blessed me with memory and he has blessed me with forgetfulness. Right? But these two things seem to work opposite to how I want them to work. Huh? Because when I want to remember something, when I want to forget something, that thing only keeps coming in my mind. Like for example, if I tell you now, look, today when you go home, tonight when you go home, don't think about a monkey. Don't think about a monkey. No, look here. The thing which you want to forget, when you go home, that only you will be thinking. And you want to remember that verse. मैं ना बोले मैं ना तो मूल भयो 10-20 बकरी बोले मैं कबीर कटायो शीस. So you want to remember that verse and you go home now. What is it? 420? 420? What I want to remember, I cannot remember. What I want to forget, I cannot forget. You see how the mind works? This is an amazing thing. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he tells in his commentary why that happens like that. I want to read that for you. He tells in his commentary why it happens like that. I'll read his words. He says, Yesham punya karminam punya karmanurodhena jnana smriti bhavataha tatha papa karminam papa karmanurupena smriti jnanayoho apohanam cha apayanam apagamanam cha. That this thing happens in our life. What I want to remember, I can't. And what I want to forget, I cannot. This thing happens, he says, because of pap. Sins. It means we go on committing so many different types of sins. But based on those sins which we commit, all my memory and my knowledge, which I want to keep. Yes. Apayanam, loss, and apagamanam, deterioration of my knowledge and my memory because of pap. And because of punya only, I can retain. Do you know how wonderful this little principle is? Because of punya karma, I can retain. You please try out this in your life. Try out this. Means engage yourself in punya karma. Means meritorious deeds. And you will see how memory and knowledge will increase. Let me just give you a simple example of how this thing works. Sometimes you may not want to believe these things. Suppose puja is going on here, right? I'm just giving a simple example to show you how papa will cause so many problems. So puja is going on here. So for puja, that food is prepared to be offered to the Lord. That food is called as naivedya. Whatever food you prepare to offer to the Lord, all these sweets and all these sweet things that you give the Lord and give him diabetes, that thing. So that food is prepared, which is called as naivedya. After it is offered to Bhagavan, that thing is called as prasad. Right? So now that naivedya is kept on the side there, and you come from outside. Puja is going on, naivedya is kept on the table, and you come from outside, and you're hungry, you haven't eaten all day, and this naivedya is not yet offered. No, before it is offered, nobody is supposed to eat. So you pass by the table and you see it there, and you take a nice handful and you eat it. Then you go and you sit there by the puja sthal, and Baba is doing puja, right? And then Baba explains, nobody is supposed to eat this naivedya before it is offered. And then you were thinking, no, I just ate this thing. And then Baba says, if anybody does that, he goes to Narak. Narak? In other words, he also tells the consequences of your papa karma, which you just did. Now, for the rest of that puja, can you remember anything that transpires in that puja? What will happen? For the rest of that puja, you only thinking about Narak. You will not remember. It means that papa karma causes agitations in the mind and cause the mind to start racing. And remember, last night I explained to you, a mind that is racing all the time, nothing can register in that mind. Like the ocean that is restless and agitated all the time, no impression can be made in that ocean. The mind has to be quiet. And punya karma quietens the mind. So the thing registers in that mind. If it registers, the mind will remember. It makes a definite impression. So papa karma causes agitation in the mind. And punya karma causes quietude in the mind. And based on this, knowledge and gyan, where there's a quiet mind, knowledge and gyan is retained. And where there's an agitated mind, nothing is retained. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya's commentary is absolutely wonderful in this regard. Papa karma. See, just make this simple connection next time. If you really want to increase your memory power and knowledge, engage yourself in good actions every day. The teachers also teach this to the little children. Every day you must do one little good deed. The scouts teach the little scoutlings. You must do good deed every day. Cubs, not scoutlings. Cubs they are called. Not kittens. One teacher asked the boy in the class, so did you do your good deed for today? That little boy said, yes. What did you do? I helped an old lady to cross the street. Really? And what did she do? She hit me over the head with her umbrella. But why? She did not want to cross the street. But I crossed her over in any case, all the same. I crossed over. So, the punya karma, it means whatever good deed I have to do, I have to make sure that is a really punya karma, because sometimes we can be doing things in the world which we think is good and may not be good. We have to think of that the human being is a thinking being. You are expected to think. Sometimes you may very well think that you are doing something good, and you have to keep on weighing consequences. Good means what? Good means that which brings maximum benefit to the maximum number for the maximum time. That is good. That which is dharmic. It brings the maximum happiness for the maximum benefit to the maximum number for the maximum time. So count. See, look here. You have one ice cream cone and you have your child and the neighbor's child. Which child you will give it to? You say, Swamiji, I have a duty to feed my children, So I give it to my child. That's my duty. Look, don't shrug your selfishness with words of goodness and duty. Don't shred it in this language of duty and all. You're supposed to think. Which child is hungry? Which child is more deserving? Which child hasn't had an ice cream cone in the longest while? Which child is less fortunate? Which child is more fortunate? So many things you're supposed to think. If you have only one ice cream cone, think on a very, very impartial basis and then give to that child which is deserving. What we do? We don't think. We let the filial instinct kick in. This is my child. That is neighbor's child. Bas. And I give to. You relinquish the duty to think. Papa karma. How subtle papa and punya karma. You see? It's papa karma. This punya papa business is not so simple also. That is why this Gita so vehemently promulgates this idea of thinking. If you relinquish this important faculty of the human being, which is the thinking faculty, you have relinquished 1/3 of your personality, then you reduce yourself to an animalistic existence. Animal level. Thinking is so important. Huh? This is what Gita prompts. You just don't relinquish that. Alright. So now, the Lord says, I am the one who has blessed you with knowledge and memory and forgetfulness also. Then, Vedaihi cha sarvaihi ahameva vedyaha. In all the Vedas, I am the thing to be known. This knowledge and intelligence which we have, memory, we are supposed to use it to realize that thing which is to be known through the Vedas. Throughout all the Vedas, there is one thing only to be known. And in your whole life's journey, there is only one thing to be known. The student in the Mundaka Upanishad goes to the teacher and he tells, oh great Guru, tell me that thing, knowing which I know all other things. Because if you go to try to learn every individual thing in this world, when you will finish? You will never finish. It is not possible to finish because the number of things in the world are infinite. Number of things in the world is infinite. So you will never finish. So he says, look, instead of learning this, learning that. And you know one more thing about learning things in this world, right? The more we know, the more we come to know how much we do not know. That becomes a sad thing. You see? So, tell me that thing knowing which there is nothing else left to know in this world. That thing is called as Brahman. The Upanishads say it is that reality. So through the Vedas, through the Upanishads, the one thing to be known is me, Bhagavan says, the Lord himself. Nothing else in this world is worth knowing. Because everything else in the world which we know, we really do not know so well. Yasya matam tasya amatam. He who thinks he knows, he really doesn't know. Again the Kena Upanishad says. So, the Lord is the one thing worth knowing. Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Vedanta krit means I am the originator of Vedanta. Bhagavan says. Vedanta is what we are teaching. Vedanta is what Chinmaya mission teaches. Vedanta is what Shankaracharya taught. Bhagavan says, I am the origin of the Vedanta. The Lord is the origin of that Vedanta. Vedavit eva chaham. And I am the one who knows the Vedanta and the Upanishads. The Lord is the one who knows. Vedavit. I am the... Shankaracharya puts a nice, a most wonderful note for this Vedanta Krit. He says, Vedanta Krit, Vedantartha Sampradaya Kritam. Krit. Vedantartha Sampradaya Krit. What that means? The Lord is the originator of the Vedanta and the meaning of the Vedanta and the Sampradaya that brings down the meaning. He says a Sampradaya that brings down the meaning. Ved Vyasji described what the Lord gave, Shankaracharya gave the meaning, and Shankaracharya's disciples gave the meaning which his Guru gave, and they gave to their disciples, and it kept coming down in a Sampradaya. And that is the meaning. That is the meaning of the phrase, the word, because the Sampradaya gives it like that. So the Lord says, He is the originator of that Sampradaya. So that's why it is so important that we belong to some Sampradaya, because He is the originator of all the Sampradayas in the world. You have to find yourself in some Sampradaya. The Sampradaya we belong to is Vedanta Sampradaya. Advaita Vedanta Sampradaya. Identify with, you see, look here. You must, if you go into a school, right? You must identify with some class, some program or something, isn't it? You can't just walk about the school, go and drink water, go to the cafeteria, then go to the principal office, then walk some other back at the school, go and suck orange and come back. Somebody else, where you went? To school. So that is going to school. Going to school means there's a class, there are classes there, you have to actually be in one of them. Sit down there and learn. Well, what sampradaya you belong to? Which Swamiji, I just pick up scraps and bits here and there. I pick up scraps and bits here and there. So I go to standard 1, pick up a little scrap and bit there, go to standard 2, listen to something there. And what you will listen to? Means you will listen only to the thing which appeals to your level of intelligence. Right? So in standard 5, if you really supposed to be in standard 1 and you go and listen to something in standard 5, you will understand head, no tail. Then you come back and whatever you listen, you will turn it upside down. Do you know what I'm talking about? Huh? People come and listen and go and turn it upside down. So, the person is supposed to find himself in a sampradaya. Bhagavan says, I am the originator of the sampradaya. And this particular sampradaya which is given here, Vedanta sampradaya. He is the originator of it. And the very important word is given there. Vedanta Artha. I want you to pay attention to that word. When Bhagavan says, for example, Hridi, in this Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtaha. So that Hridi word there, Hridi means heart literally, right? So then somebody will have to ask Bhagavan, Prabhu, what do you mean by Hridi? Heart. I am the heart of all things. All beings. So what is the meaning of heart there? Means it the physical heart? So when you go to do open heart surgery, they'll see Bhagavan inside there. A little Krishna is there. With a little flute. वो काला बांसुरी वाला तुम्हारे दिल में बज रहा है. In your heart he playing. So no, the sampradaya will give the meaning of that word heart. If the sampradaya is not there, you could interpret how you want, say what you want, do what you want, and you come out with some. And then what will happen if you don't belong to the sampradaya? This will happen. You will interpret one phrase here which will conflict with another phrase there. That will immediately arise. So that is why the sampradaya is so important. Sampradaya, that lineage, that tradition, you come down in one of them. Find yourself in one of them and you come down with it. So now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives here, in this sampradaya, the word Hridi here means in the intellect. And why he has given this thing? The intellect is the very essence of human existence. This is the only one thing which distinguishes a human being from the rest of the creatures in the universe. What is the thing? The intellect. Minus the intellect, the human being is like any other animal species. So at the very root of this intellect, Bhagavan is there. Bhagavan said, I am there at the very root of, I am there in your heart. It means I am there in your intellect. And I am the thing that makes you a human being. Without me. So Hridi, in the intellect, Buddha. Hridi 7 case and Buddha 7 case. In nothing. Alright. We'll see. I'm leaving it here because, and I am stopping here because, from the next verse now the topic changes. Dvavimau Purushau Loke Ksharascha Akshara Evacha. He's talking about now he's talking about actually what we call as conditioning and absence of conditioning. Conditioning and absence of conditioning. What is that? The Lord with his Maya and the Lord without his Maya.